Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aquarius April 3, 2022. An old cycle is drawing to a close, and a new cycle of adventure, excitement, and unusual experiences is coming into play for you. New and exciting people could be appearing in your life, and you yourself are looking forward to a period of expansion, challenging experiences, and lots of change. You could find yourself more involved with groups than you have been in the past, perhaps those focusing on your own special interests. You've been on a learning track lately, expanding your mind and skills in order to advance. Today you could start putting all of this new knowledge together. Maybe you will be ready to apply for a job that will allow you to make use of your new skills. Don't be afraid to shift careers if that is what your heart is telling you to do. You have many talents, and you don't need to limit yourself to one path. The more you try to force control over others, the harder time you will have getting what you want. People with equally strong wills are making it known that they will not be bullied around by your manipulative behavior. If an honest, straightforward approach does not work, then let it rest. Perhaps the situation was not meant to develop the way you envisioned it. Trust that things will work out for the best, regardless of whether you get your way or not. Today you might attend at least one festive social occasion, and therefore you may meet some very interesting people in unusual professions, such as film or TV. Expect to hear some bizarre stories, some of them true, others that are clearly exaggerated. Out of all this friendly banter and tale-telling, however, you could acquire some useful information. Make a note of it so you'll be able to remember it later. Your family doesn't seem to be supporting you as much as usual. Instead, they are critical now and then. Don't go on the offensive, but listen carefully to what they are saying. Who knows, their objections may be justified. It's better to discuss this with friends, as they see matters more objectively. Your ability to really hear what people are trying to tell you is quite strong right now, so sit down with a few friends and see if you pick up any new clues. It's not so hard, really. Being tested, you seek proof as to whether the decisions you made regarding your love life are correct. It's possible others make you aware of having made a mistake. This is a good time to reevaluate your situation. Remain calm, be optimistic about the future and let events unfold. Better times are on the way. Become a pioneer in your own world today. Strike out and adventure into the world with a brave and courageous spirit. Your emotions are fired up and ready to go. Your internal instincts are ready for a new challenge. If anything slows you down today, it will most likely be your own rational thinking. Your self-protection mechanism may kick in just when things start to get exciting. Strike the right balance. Everyone needs a rest, including you. See about taking care of your psychological and emotional well-being on this day. Consider taking some of the money you work so hard for and spending it on yourself. Perhaps you'd love to go for a therapeutic massage. Perhaps there's a new book out that you would love to read. Whatever the case, do something especially kind for yourself today. Even if it's a work day, go out this evening and pamper yourself. You'll be glad you did. You should know that it is important for zodiac sign to surround themselves with a circle of friends or family. Yet, some people choose to hide themselves away from the world, but these are rare exceptions. Most often those people belong to communities that are just less visible to the rest of the world, like religious or spiritual groups. The planetary configuration promises a period of time in which you may find and join your own little family or group. While yesterday's new moon was all about your relationships and that remains the case today, it kicked off a defining few days that will see some of this year's major alignments form. Already drawing closer by the day is an alignment between Mars and Saturn, their first in a fun, playful, romantic and creatively charged part of your chart, and another between lucky Jupiter and dreamy Neptune, their first in your work sector in our lifetime. This is an important point in the year, and today the focus is on those relationships that matter to you. A day after the Sun and Moon align to create a new moon in your relationship sector, Another alignment today is a chance to capitalize on this and take it one step further. Today it is the Sun and Mercury, the planet of communication, who come together, giving you a chance to capture the momentum created by yesterday's new moon and the opportunity for new beginnings this has created. Our eyes in the sky. The Aries moon forms an unbalanced aspect to action planet Mars this morning, so getting out of bed when your alarm goes off could be challenging. Thanks to a harsh aspect between Luna and Venus, you might feel weighed down or like you didn't get enough sleep last night. Try to get in some light exercise before heading to work, and avoid grabbing that extra cup of coffee. It could lead to a case of the jitters. A harsh connection between the Sun and Jupiter creates a cerebral vibe that could get the better of you, making it important that you ground yourself and focus on your breath throughout the day. Should you begin to feel overwhelmed, give yourself permission to step back and take a time out, if only for a few minutes. Luckily, the Sun receives some aid from transformative Pluto, which should help you release any unpleasant thoughts or situations that find their way to you. Watch out for breakdowns in communication when the Moon shares an off-kilter connection with communicative Mercury this afternoon. Choose your words wisely while this energy is present, and avoid getting sucked into gossip that doesn't concern you. As the day comes to a close, be mindful that you're taking a proactive approach to settling in for the evening. The Aries lunar placement can sometimes lead to insomnia or restless sleep. Just after midnight, Venus in Capricorn squares Chiron in Aries, highlighting insecurities within relationships. Too much of a focus on the optical success or failure of a union can trump the valuable lessons we might learn from holding space for each other as individuals and cherishing what makes us unique and special. We may feel unseen, or at worst, ashamed, of who we are in our partnerships, potentially putting our ambitions on the back burner to prioritize mutual concerns. However, it is our individuality that drew our partners to us in the first place, and so in absence of this, all parties feel depleted, and resentments arise. Healing is possible now, but only by identifying that we feel abandoned in our relationships because we have really abandoned ourselves. Before noon, the Scorpio Sun squares Jupiter in Aquarius. We feel powerful and generous now, desirous of progress that will benefit not only ourselves, but our communities at large. However, hubris can be our downfall, creating the expectation that any plan we set in motion will be too big to fail. We might finance a cause, sign contracts, or agree to sponsor a big deal to get the ball rolling, only later to realize that we have attached our name to something that requires much more work to become legitimate. As a result, we are on the hook, required to give even more than we anticipated, making us wish that we had not invested at all. Something that seemed like a lucky break is now our albatross. If there must be an abundance of anything today, make it an abundance of caution.